Hello, happy Tuesday. Thank you for joining me here tonight. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make cute embroidery kits for the beginning crafter. And I am here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. That's 9:30 Eastern and 6:30 Pacific. And it's a time that we can relax and craft together for about an hour here, and I work on projects from beginning to end so you can be part of the whole process along the way. And today I am continuing on my Jean Quilt. Ugh, I'm getting so close to being done. I actually worked on it for the past hour or so while watching a movie, so it's the perfect thing to do while watching movies is just putting on the little binding. I'm loving how the black binding is looking with the jeans and my little black ties that I put on. So um, we'll be working on that a little bit more tonight. And you guys, I got my mail. All my mail came from when I was gone last week today, and my Thimble lady Thimble was in there. So I've been playing around with this for the past hour or so. So I'll show you the difference, the initial difference between the two thimbles, while I stitch tonight. So I won't be doing any like hand quilting, where we're like stitching the whole 3 layers of the quilt together. I'm just going to use it for the binding. I do still want to test this out for the up and down motion of hand quilting. So we won't do that tonight, but I want to do it yet still. But we'll just use it for the hand binding and see the little differences. At least so far, I'm just starting to practice with it. So awesome, you guys, and happy New Year's Eve and happy New Year to all of you overseas. I know you are already in 2020 right now, so all right, you guys, I am going to flip you around and let's get started. New Year's Eve, what could be more fun than hanging out with a few friends and crafting? I don't know. This is good for me. So, all right. So here is the binding that we're working on. The binding is the last stage of the quilting process. What we're doing is basically protecting the raw edge of the 3 layers, the front, the batting, and the back. We're just protecting that with a little flap of fabric here. So we've sewn on the flap, the binding strip already, and now I'm hand binding it, which means I am flipping over the edge and hand stitching it to the back of my quilt. I think it is one of the most fun, relaxing, enjoyable parts of quilting. I know there is a huge debate on that. A lot of people find this the least exciting part, but like I said, I was able to just chill for the past hour and watch a movie and stitch. It was just kind of fun. So here's what I did. This is where we left off last night. We worked on this corner here. I think we got to about here or so. And so I did, let's count it out. That's about a foot. Let's call that another foot. I'd say just over a yard, so just over 3 feet or so. I did while just kind of casually binding and casually watching a movie. For my binding, I saw the question fly by. I did a 2.5-inch binding. I probably could have gotten away with a 2.25-inch. So what you do, I mean, this obviously isn't 2.5. This is like 1.25 here, but that's because I folded the 2.5-inch strip the long way. So I'd end up with a 1.25-inch strip, and that leaves me with a nice clean edge because it's the fold. And then I've sewn that, and you want enough so that when you flip over the edge and you flip over again, in theory, they're the same amount, or the back could be just a little hair wider. In theory, 2.5 inches is more than you need, I suppose, for flipping over the edge. But it takes in consideration how fat the quilt is. And really, my quilt isn't as fat as I thought it was. If I use a poofier a poofier binding or poofier batting, maybe the 2.5 would work well. But I don't think I must almost always do a 2.5. So this is from the edge, so it has that thickness of the edge. You get this really pretty, like, just over a 1/4 inch binding. It really frames a quilt nicely, I think. And I got a little bit more on the back there. So all right. I got the new Thimble Lady Thimble here. So it's kind of it's oval shaped. It's supposed to fit a finger a little bit better. For me, it's maybe a little bit big at the bottom, but I think so far it's comfortable and everything. What I like about it so far is that I can still grab the needle when I need to with my third finger here, which I'm accustomed to, versus having it covered up. So I kind of find it annoying that I can't grab anymore, whereas here I can. And I've been finding myself like not going straight into the divots here. The divots are much bigger than a normal thimble here. I kind of find myself grabbing the side of the divot and using it to press. So far, I'm liking it. So far, I did not use a bigger seam allowance here. I suppose it wouldn't have been a bad idea because then it would be grabbing onto a little bit more. So if you get a little bit bigger seam allowance, like maybe a 3/8 inch instead of a 1/4 inch, then maybe the front and back would be a little bit more balanced. If I would do a bigger seam allowance, I maybe would do a little bit bigger binding just to make sure that I'm covering everything, because here I'm mimicking it and I don't have that much on the back. It would also make, if you did a bigger seam allowance, it would also make your binding border a little bit bigger, like visually, because right now it's dependent on that seam allowance, because I'm folding it right at the seam allowance and then folding it over the fabric, so it's giving me kind of like that 1/4 inch. If I made it bigger, like a 1/2 inch, then it'd be like a 1/2 inch size, which is actually pretty, but I would have to use so much more fabric, because sewing it a 1/2 inch, then folding it up, I would need another at least inch to get to the other side there. So I would, like a 3.5 inch or at least a 3-inch binding would be a good place to start for that if you're sewing it a little bit wider. But anyway, let's get started. I also bought some needles from the Thimble Lady site. So it's for hand quilting, but I'm using it for this. It is super, super skinny. It's still pretty stiff. It's a little bendy, but not too much. But the point is super sharp, and it doesn't taper. Or I mean, it's slower to taper than the one that I've been using. So meaning it takes a little bit from the point to get wider. So it takes a longer bit to get there, versus here it's just skinny and then wide right away. So this one's actually a lot easier, the new one, to pull through, because it gradually does that. Oh, Betty, you cut your binding to 3.5 inches. I'm gonna have to try a larger binding. I haven't done that in a while, and I think that would be pretty fun. All right, so I'm just grabbing my thread. I'm still using that black 30 weight that I happen to have here. All right, so I'm going to thread this, and we will get going. I'm going to probably get you guys a little lower once I get going. The eyes of these new needles are super small. I'm probably using thread that's a little bit too big for it, but again, it's I'm just going with the black thread that I happen to have here. Gretchen, you do 3 inches. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try a variety. I've just been doing the 3.5 or the 2.5, so I'm used to it. All right, I'm gonna get a little bit lower so you can see, so I can see your comments a bit easier. So I'm gonna show you just real quick with my other thimble. So this is just some thimble I got from an antique store. It needs to be cleaned up, but it's so pretty. I really like it. But this is just like bumped up against my finger here. Luckily, I don't really have any nails. Oh, you find it easier to do the 3 inch? I'd like to try a little bit of a wider one with the bigger seam allowance. That'd be nice. So it's funny. I'm finding myself accustomed to the Thimble Lady one already because I already pushed like this, which is what I would do with the Thimble Lady one. But for this type of thimble, you have to curl your finger up like that and push. I mean, you could push on the side a little bit too, I suppose. All right, so I'm grabbing down here, and I'm just gonna go around this spot one more time, and then we'll get stitching. Oh, Robin, use a 2 1/4. So I've heard that pretty often too as a common size, and I think if I did that, that would have worked well for this quilt because it's not so thick. So if I did a 2 1/4, my binding on the back would probably have ended right here, and that's kind of a nice width. It's more like the width on the front. So 2 1/4 may have been the better route for this quilt, but you know, it just has a little bit bigger border on the back, and that's fine too. All right, so then I'm just going directly across. It's hard to see because it's black on black, but I'm going directly across to just the back fabric here, and then coming up, and then I'm just catching that fold of the binding, and that's the deal. That's how I'm doing it with this thimble, and this is what I used last night. So now the difference. Here was this thimble on this thimble, the Thimble Lady thimble. I'm just testing it today. So it doesn't have any other divots, but the divots it has are huge, right? And they're deep. They're way different than the divots on this one. So, and the other thing obviously is that I can stick my finger through. So what I like about that so far is that I can grab, like, so I when I'm embroidering, I usually put my third finger here to help keep my thread from popping through the needle here, and now I can do that with this thimble, so that's more comfortable for me. And then I've been kind of just grabbing so I'm not even straight in like this. I'm just kind of grabbing like the inside edge, like just that little inside silver edge of here, and it's been working great because it is such a deep divot. So I'm still getting used to it. I mean, I'm still getting getting used to thimbles in general, but see, now I don't have to go like this to press it in. I just kind of keep my hand here, just trying to play with it, get used to it. We'll see. I still want to play around with hand quilting. Obviously, I'm not a hand quilting pro, but I'd like to just test this thimble for that as well. All right, flip over the binding and go a little bit further. Yeah, so I got the stainless steel. These are not inexpensive. So it was definitely a splurge. This was sort of my Christmas present to myself. I didn't get the super expensive one. I got the mid-tiered one, which is the stainless steel one. They do make it in like the silver and stuff too. But so far, I'm liking it. I did get a few other knickknacks from there too, and I do want to do like a bigger testing it out. Well, with the swan embroidery. So the swan embroidery, which is the embroidery of the month, we stitched it a couple weeks ago, and I want to do some hand quilting around it and then make it into like a little bag or something. So I'd like to test some hand quilting on there, so we'll bring that back around. You love hand quilting with this? Yeah, let me know if any of you guys use a Thimble Lady thimble. It's patented. Like this is like an invention that she did. And really it's these bigger divots that kind of do the trick. Ugh, but I'm telling you, this is so relaxing. Like, I don't know. it's just so silly, but this is totally an ideal like evening, is just chilling, watching movies, and doing some sort of handwork like this, hand stitching the binding. There's nothing to think about. All you do is make another stitch. It's just so fun. Oh, you're doing a sweatshirt with your swan. Ooh, I can't wait to see that. You'll have to share it when you're done. So, did you stitch it on a different fabric first, or are you stitching it right onto the sweatshirt fabric? I'm curious about that. One of these embroidery of the months, it would be kind of fun to try stitching onto a stretchy fabric, like a t-shirt fabric, some sort of jersey. That would be kind of interesting, I think. Get the right stabilizers for that and give that a little test. Oh, Shirley, it is by the Thimble Lady. So if you just go to Thimble Lady, there we go, thimblelady.com. Otherwise, I did put a link directly to this particular thimble. Like I said, it's pricey. This thimble was $38, which I think is quite a lot, but I like testing out new things. And they actually have a more expensive one, the silver one, the sterling silver one, which is beautiful. Like, she even has a jewelry thing to hang it on. Like, oh gosh, I kind of almost want it, but it's a necklace that you hook this on, and then you can wear your thimble as a necklace. It's so funny, but I just like it. But the sterling silver one is like $70 or something like that. And there's a couple different kinds. This is kind of like the new one. And she also has a thumb one. Oh, you love the t-shirts that have long sleeves. Oh, which would be some Penguin and Fish merch. Well, we are talking about that, so I do want to figure that out for this year. Yeah, exactly, Shirley. So that was pretty surprising when I first saw it, but I'm like, you know what? I want to get into this a little bit more. I know you guys are interested in it a little bit, so I'm just going to get it and test it out, and it's going to be a Christmas present for myself. So there's my justification for you. But I do want to do more hand quilting, because the little tiny bit that I've done, it's just fun. It's relaxing, and I'd like to do more of it. Just like this hand binding, I just really, really like it. Yep, she's in, yep, so Nolene has it here, thimblelady.com. She's Australian, so it will come from Australia if you order. Oh, thank you! So this is some of, some Penguin and Fish fabric. That's another thing, it'd be kind of fun to start making fabric again. Oh, gotta get my scheduling figured out. Oh, can you have a hint on January's embroidery? Well, it's coming out in a couple hours. I don't know if I can give a hint on that. I'll give a hint on, well, it's not a hint. I'll tell you part of the bundle. I'm going to, and what I'll be stitching on it. The bundle comes with a tea towel this time, and I will be, during our stitch-along third week of January, I'll be stitching it onto a tea towel. So that's not a hint on the motif, but I am pretty excited about that, the tea towel aspect. So that's all you get. So, I am going to stay up till the new year, and I will take down the swan. So the swan is going away, you guys. So, like, if you wanted the swan, the PDF pattern, too, that's going away at midnight, at the stroke of midnight, Central Time. And, so is the bundle, and so it'll probably be empty for like a minute or two while I hit the new design while those go live. But yes, so tonight's the next couple hours is the last time to get the swan, and I just checked, and I think I only have 2 bundles left. So uh, there's actually, so if you wanted a bundle with all the supplies and that yummy candle, that there's only 2, and then they're gone. They like they gotta go away when I run out of the candles, basically, and some of the supplies. So 2 left of those, and then the PDF pattern will still be available when those are gone, but just till midnight. But yes, so at midnight, or like let's call it 12:05, the new design and bundle will be up. So that is the plan. Ooh, I'm almost done with my first thread already. I think this is making me go a little bit faster. I'm not. One thing is that I'm not worried about this thimble kind of falling off my finger. I'm always afraid that I'm gonna fling that traditional thimble like across the room. I'm afraid of stabbing myself with this needle because it's super duper sharp. But this part, I'm happy I have access to my finger here. Another thing about these thimbles, they do come in different sizes. So there's instructions on how to measure your finger and what part of your finger to measure. And then based on that, you pick a certain size. I think there's like 5 or 6 different sizes or something. So I have teeny tiny fingers. And I think they even had a size smaller, and they had several size bigger. Oh, how did you measure for the thimble? So, Jenna, it's on their website. I think, if I remember correctly, I think you measure around your knuckle here, like your top knuckle. And they had a good suggestion. They said, like, just take a little piece of paper, like a Post-it or something, and wrap it around, and then just put a little line where it crosses, and then right at that line, you'll have your measurement when you take the paper apart. There's pictures, and that seemed to work out fine so far. Again, I'm just getting used to the idea of a thimble, so I don't have a lot of other variables to cross check against, but so far so good, I guess. Oh yeah, and I'm excited. I saw some of you guys mention the Granny Square quilt. We will be starting that on Monday. So the first, stabbing myself right now. The first full week of the new month. So we won't start it like tomorrow on the 1st. We'll start it the first full week. So this weekend, I'm going to be looking through my fabrics. I'm going to be reading through that pattern again. I think some of you guys, the link wasn't working. I did repost the link on the Penguin and Fish Facebook page. It's probably right below where this video is playing. So, and also I think I shared it to the Penguin and Fish Crafters group. So that's just a $6 digital pattern. And then actually, some of you even have the magazine that it came out of. I think it was written for a magazine, like, could be almost 10 years ago, maybe now, I don't know. But from a while back. You can't choose fabric colors. Oh, you're still in fabric anxiety. I am a little bit too. I will think through my colors a little bit over the weekend because it just takes me a long time, but I think we'll make kind of more final decisions when I'm with you guys on Monday and kind of talk about the process of how I'm picking my colors a little bit too. So I will check over that. I will be looking at that over the weekend. And I'll bring all my fabric out here on Monday and make some final decisions. The big thing is, I want that that background fabric is going to be kind of the main deal. Oh yeah, you can also go to, I believe it's APQ store, which stands for American Patchwork and Quilting store or shop. Is it store or shop? I'm not sure. One of those two. And they have a search, and you can just search for granny squares, and it'll be the only thing that pops up. But yeah, it's by Lisa Alexander, and it's just seems like an interesting pattern. It was different than I was expecting it before I bought it, so we can talk about that. So for sure, on Monday we will start breaking down that pattern and looking at fabrics. That's the plan. It looks scrappy, but it's not, I don't think. So I will look over it again. Oh, I don't know offhand, Jenna. I'll read over it again um, tomorrow, so I can talk about it tomorrow evening. You want a lighter color palette? That's what I'm trying to decide. Do I want to go lighter? You know what? I'm going to just say now I'm not doing a lighter palette because, and I'm just thinking out loud, because I'm doing the Splendid Sampler 2, and the Splendid Sampler 2, my colors I picked for that is a super light palette. So maybe I should contrast that a little bit. I'm thinking. Although I think for the Aurifil block of the month, I think that might be a kind of a pretty nice kind of rich color thing too. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure it out. Oh, you guys, here, maybe we do this. Gosh, this is getting crazy. I should do some trend color research. Like, okay, so this blue, this kind of classic blue is the Pantone color of the month or color of the year. Maybe I'll do some like real like color trend looking and we'll just make like a really kind of trendy color one. That would be kind of neat. I don't ever do that for quilting. I never think, oh, what are the trendy colors right now? But that might be kind of fun for the granny quilt. Seeing what I can find there. That'd be a good challenge. I always like having like a certain challenge when I'm doing a project. I'm gonna wrap this one up. I'm gonna tie this off. So I'm gonna go through that same spot one more time. I know, I can't do two blonde quilts. Exactly, Noeline. When you were talking about a light colored quilt, I was really liking that idea. Like, ooh, a light colored granny square, that'd be so pretty. And then I'm like, oh, wait. I got the Splendid Sampler too. That one's all light colored. Yep, can't have two blonde quilts. Jenna, you're thinking bright jewel tones and solids. Ooh, with a batik type background. Dang, that sounds amazing. That sounds really, really beautiful. Oh gosh, I forgot all about batiks. Gosh, maybe that would be fun. I could get some batiks. I have a few. I wonder how many I need. I'm gonna have to look at the instructions again. Yeah, I do kind of like this idea of doing a trend color based quilt, which, gosh, just seems so funny to me. I don't think that way for this stuff really, but that'd be a good challenge maybe. Pick like a trend color theme, and I'll show you guys how I do, like where I got those colors and how I'm deciding that that's trendy. We'll see. And then pick colors based on it. That'd be kind of fun. Maybe I'll do that, and we can go over that on Monday. You know what? Actually, I think that's a great idea. Why don't we do that? Because I can show you some places where I like to find different color schemes, and it can really, I can share with you like how I translate that to fabric a little bit. Like that might be just kind of a fun thing to do, especially if you're struggling with what to pick. I mean, it's still a struggle. It's ultimately still a decision you have to stick with. That's the scary part. But if you're just having trouble of what colors go together or whatever, that it might be fun to do a little color trend research and then pick some colors based on that. Pick some fabrics that kind of feel that like those colors. I think that might be kind of fun. Different. Haven't done that before, so that'd be kind of fun. I will dig into that this weekend a little bit. See what fabrics I have and what is needed for the quilt and work from there. Oh, signed another knot. Ooh, Christmas fabric. Oh, Christmas! A Christmas granny square quilt. That sounds amazing. Oh my gosh, that just sounds so cute. Yeah, I think we'll do that. We'll, because I haven't picked my fabrics yet either, and it'd be fun to like see what I have around and get some ideas of some ways to find some resources for color and use those to help pick. That'd be just like a neat color challenge. All right, I'm just holding this up. We'll stitch around here one more time in that spot. I always like to go around one extra time and at the beginning and the end. All right. I'm always afraid I'm going to lose the needle doing this. That scares me a little bit, but I'll keep my eye on it. I did stab myself with this quilt earlier today. I put a little penguin and fish tag on it, but all I had was like a needle, so I used a needle to put that in, and I stabbed myself with that needle when I was moving the quilt earlier. Oh, I do have a lot of that 30s. It is 30s, right? That 30s flour sack like reprint patterns. Um, those would be awfully pretty in a granny square too. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I can't decide. So maybe just going with like new trend colors would be kind of a fun idea. We'll get on. We'll get our Instagram going and our Pinterest going. I think that'd be fun. Get the iPad working for us out here again. So, if it is the new year for you already, let me know how your new year's going so far. And if you guys are not in the new year yet, like me, what are you hoping for 2020, the new decade? Crazy. Yeah, I think you're right, Teresa. So the Kona, which is a if you guys don't know, it's a fabric company. It's actually part of Robert Kaufman, I believe. But the Kona solids, those are like all those pretty solids, and they've decided to do their own color of the year, and theirs is a like a really rich looking kind of forest emeraldy green, like an emerald green but a bit darker. Oh, it's called Enchanted. Oh, that's a good name for it. Yeah, like an emerald green but a hair darker, and it actually I think fits with the Pantone color of the year, which again is kind of like this classic blue, like not the black squares, but like in between that blue. They both look like they go together really, really well. They're both rich and jewelly and stuff. Gretchen, you're hoping for no drama next year. Sounds like a good plan. Oh, Kathy, you like putting clips on the binding as you sew. Oh, you think it's smoother? Oh, I should give that a try. I know people do that. I haven't really done it just because I'm like, oh, I can just fold it over. But that's interesting. Yeah, I suppose it might be because might be smoother because I can, really get it over the edge all the way and hold it there. Huh. Maybe I should give that a try before I'm done with this. Dawn, you're hoping to craft more this year? Gosh, okay, on that theme, I'm hoping to finish some projects this year. Let's get some of these projects, like these longer term projects done. Like I want to finish that sheep pillow, that knitted sheep pillow. Gosh, it's just, all my projects are 80% done. I feel like I'm in that 80% done place where I want to quit, and then it's that last 20%. So I think that's why this quilt hung out for so long, this Jean Quilt, because I got it 80% done. So I think that's where that sheep pillow is about 80% done. I mean, I still have the I Love Home quilt. I want to finish that. Um, that's the front is done on that, so that's about 80%. Um, so this will be a good start of the new year, right? This will be a great way to start the new year, actually. I still have to make a label. I think I'm gonna do that yet. After talking about it last night, I had forgotten about that step, making the label. Not sure what to do for that yet, but I was gonna look up when this started. So that will be pretty quick into the new year right away because we're almost done with this binding. So, gosh, maybe even before the week's done here. So it'll be the first finished project of the year. And it's a project that's been around for at least a decade. So that is going to set the stage, hopefully, for the year. That would be kind of awesome. Ooh, another punch needle. Oh gosh, that would be fun. For some reason, that's been on my brain a lot lately, too. So, I don't know, usually when I got a twinge of a project like that on my brain for a while, eventually I just gotta do it. So, who knows, maybe we will throw in some punch needle again. That really was kind of fun. So I don't think we'll get all the way to the corner tonight, um, but like I said, I will be up until at least midnight so I can switch over the website so I can take down the Swan embroidery of the month and put up the new embroidery of the month. So maybe I will watch another movie and finish this binding, and then maybe for the rest of the week I can do a label for it, like embroider a label or something, and finish it for realsies. That would be a good deal. Decade denim quilt. Exactly. I think gosh, it's such an old image too. If I took the photo, I remember I took a photo of when I just started this quilt, and I know that photo exists somewhere on my computer, and I think I might know the folder even, even though it might have a bajillion images in. So I'll just have to putz around in that folder till I find it, because then it'll have the date stamp or something on there, I'm hoping. Or like originally created X date, so that'll be close enough to when this quilt was started. I think I'll probably be able to finish this thread though tonight. But yeah, I'm not even thinking about the thimble anymore, so it's just like it's not sliding around. Like I said, I'm going at a side. Like I'm not even going straight into the divot. I'm going on the side of the divot. So I'm not even thinking about it. I know that a divot's gonna hit on the side there. Whereas on that other thimble, I feel like I kind of have to pay attention a little bit more. So I'm not even thinking about the thimble anymore. And I think that's probably ideal that it's working for you and you're not thinking about it all the time. Oh, Sue, that's interesting. I'll have to see if I have that around. But that's just a neat idea in general. Like take a photo and print it like on fabric or something. They make photo paper like that now, I think, that you can get. And use that as the label. Stitch some type on there or something. That'd be kind of fun. Clever idea. I like that. Yep, I'm gonna have to go splunking for that that photo. I know exactly what it looks like too. I know it exists. I know it's a thing. It's not on my camera or my phone. I know that. Ooh, oh man, stabbed myself. I think we had a little blood there too. Ah, I knew this new needle was sharp. Bleed on this quilt before it's done too, I suppose. Oh, you did a photo quilt for a family reunion. Oh, that's a great idea. Oh my gosh, Linda, you gonna move into your rebuilt house after the Santa Rosa fire? Jeez, well, good luck on all of that. That'll be a good start to 2020 for sure. Sheesh. Wow. Hope for a better 2020. We used to live in that area, my husband and I, like just outside of it, in the Roanoke Park area, and oh gosh, that was just so scary. So glad you're getting the house rebuilt and everything. A little close to home. All right. Yeah, I think clipping this would actually be nice because I could have it clipped all the way to here, and then I wouldn't have to think about folding it up like this at all. I would just be kind of holding it. Yes, let us all know, Linda, how that goes. Moving in and everything. I feel like I'm totally cruising on this now, and I think this thimble is making it faster. I'm literally not thinking about it. I'm just putting it in the side of this divot. I'm grabbing it like I normally grab my embroidery needle, so it's feeling awfully comfortable. So Gretchen, they have a thumb thimble. Um, the thimble lady has a thumb thimble like this as well, but meant for the thumb. I was curious about that too, but I thought, for me, I thought I'd just give the one a try first before going all in, and then if I really start getting into um, hand quilting some more and really think that I'll want one of those, especially if I'm going the opposite direction, like if I have a quilt in a frame or something that I can't move around. Then I thought, then I'll check out that thumb thimble. But I like the concept. Oh, I also bought those little kind of like silicone finger bits. She has some of those at the Thimble Lady. So when we do the hand quilting, I'll definitely put those on because it'll be a little easier to pull the needle through. Here, I don't have much resistance, um, so there's that. So I don't need the fingers to pull through. Charlene, it is from the Thimble Lady or thimblelady.com. I threw a link underneath here too, if you're curious. The link goes directly to this one. This is the stainless steel version, which is the cheaper version, which I'm sure will be a surprise when you get there because it's still like a $38 thimble, which I was like, wow. But I'm like, I'm gonna give it a try, and so far I like it. But yeah, the stainless steel one is the cheaper one. They make a what's that called? Sterling silver, sterling silver one as well. But I'm trying to get used to the idea of thimbles a little bit more. I want to do more hand quilting. It'd be something fun to test out here with you guys, so I got one. Oh, I'm like, what is that outside? I think people are shooting fireworks outside. First I thought it was just someone shoveling, but I think it's fireworks. Ugh, we had a shovel. Oh, you've been using band-aids because you haven't found a thimble that feels right. Yeah, I mean, if you want to splurge for one, I mean, this is kind of that same idea, right? As a band-aid, it's around this part of your finger, so you can push right here. Um, and really, I do think it's the bigger divots right now that are killing it for me because I can just, or what's good for me because I can almost go from any angle and like I'm still like I'm like almost parallel to my needle and because the divot's so big, I'm still catching it. Um, so that's kind of awesome. Liking that so far. Oh, they're doing fireworks. Oh, there. It's way not even midnight. It is. It's like 9. It's 9:20, Kathy. So they're getting their fireworks going a little early there. All right. I think I'm gonna do 2 more stitches, and I think we'll tie this off, and I'm gonna call it a night. It's a good place to stop. Yeah, I can probably get a couple more stitches. I want to do a few more. We can see how close to the. I think I basically did another third. So I said before I came on tonight that I was watching a movie and stitching this for about an hour maybe, or on and off for like I don't know, hour and a half, however long short little romantic comedy movies are. So I did maybe about a third. I think right now I did another third, and I got about a third left to this side. Oh, Mary, people are doing fireworks for the past week. Oh, that's funny. Oh, we'll do 2 more stitches. Kathy, I think I got the small size. So on the site they have a measure. Well, maybe this is what it says. Maybe it's the small medium. Maybe this is the second size. So I think there's a small, like a small medium, a medium large, and a large maybe. There is a way to measure. So she has on the website on thimblelady.com. There is a there she shows you how to measure, and it's pretty clear and easy. And then underneath the thimble image, it was actually pretty small. In the extras, there was a little bit in there on the size, and I think she has to email you after the order, or I couldn't quite find within the order how to tell her my size, but she emailed me right after my order. So I don't know, that was a little weird, but eventually she got the size that I wanted, and the measuring was easy enough. So yeah, SM, I think that's the small medium, which is in between medium and small, if I remember right. I think it goes by like millimeters and inches. So I think the 4 millimeter, you're measuring around your like knuckle. So I think the 4 millimeter was the small, 4.5 millimeter was the small medium, and then, I don't know after that. Mine was pretty close to the 4.5. All right, let's snip this. I can, I still have access to my finger. That's what's kind of nice. All right, and let's see how we did here. I'm gonna get you up top here. Oh, what movie were we watching? Oh gosh, I don't remember the name, but it's on HBO, I think. It's that one that has Charlize Theron and Seth Rogen in, and she's like the president basically, and he's just a journalist, and they start dating, and it's just cute. It's cute. It was cuter than I thought. But there we go. So working the side. So here's where we were last night. I did about that much during the movie, and maybe a little bit more. Oh, I know. I was past this seam here, so I was probably about right here, and then maybe another 1, 2, a little shy of 3 feet here. So maybe a little less than what I did during the movie. And let's see, I have about that 1, 2, 3 to get to the corner. So one more movie and I should be able to do that. And then here's the last little side. So here's where I stabbed myself. I have my penguin and fish. I didn't want to forget to put it in, so I have it where I wanted. I just had a needle, so that's what's holding it there. So I'll make that turn, do that, and that's all the rest I have here. So about 2 feet on this side. So yeah, so here's the quilt. It's a little hard to show. Oh, you guys, hold on. Let me see. I did take a photo of it at my parents' house, so that might be a better photo because they have good lighting at their house. All right, I'm just looking at my phone here. Oh yeah, so here's the quilt on the floor, so you can get far away from it. So this is the quilt. So here obviously you can see I'm not done with the binding. So it's some different angles. So this is you can see the dark part and the light parts of the quilt showing through, and that's the right side of the jeans and the wrong side of the jeans, like the inside of the jeans are a little bit lighter. So that is the quilt. It's probably a little bit easier and better way of showing it than just on the table here. But yeah, so I'm so super excited about it. I'm excited about the first wash because all of these little ties here should kind of felt up into a little ball a little bit more. So I think, you can kind of see a crisscross with the ties in those little bundles in the middle. I'm thinking that will be more visible. It's so hard to get directly above. So there we go. But that's one of these days when I'm done, I will attempt to get an above shot of this after I've quilted it up so these get to be like the little balls a little bit more. So yeah, the iPhone color corrects this a little bit, so it is blue. It's blue jean blue. Sometimes it likes to try and switch it a little bit. But yes, so it is getting there, you guys. It's going to be the first finish of the year for sure. All right, I'm going to flip you around. Hello. All right, so just another reminder. You got, what is it now, like 2 hours left to get the swan pattern. And before I started tonight, I don't know if they're still there now, but before I started tonight, there were only 2 more of the bundles left of the swan bundles, and the PDF will still be available after if those sell out. So if those 2 go away, then the PDF pattern will still be there just for the next 2 hours. So at midnight here in Central Time Zone, so in 2 hours it's 9:30, so 2.5 hours or so. It will come down, and then it'll be the embroidery of the month section will be empty for a moment or 2, and then I will get the new pattern up there in the new bundle. So if you want to stay up to midnight and check it out, otherwise it'll be there tomorrow morning, and I'll be sure to send an email to you guys as well about it. So awesome, you guys. Thanks for letting me play with my new thimble here. I just kind of can wear it like jewelry. All right, I'll work on this binding a little bit more tonight, and I'll share how far I got tomorrow, and I'll get this up on YouTube as well tonight. So thanks, you guys. Have a great rest of your New Year's Eve and start to the new year. See you tomorrow. Good night.